And joining me in our New York studio, Sir Brian May and Roger Taylor.
Thank you.
Queen, and their singer, Adam Lambert. Welcome to iHeartRadio Icon.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nice to be here.
Thank you, Jim.
Well, the Rhapsody returns.
Indeed.
It's been 4 years since Queen plus Adam Lambert toured North America, and you are coming back. And Brian, you have a quote here that I read that I thought was pretty amazing.
Which you were going to speak, right?
But I don't want to read
then
this
you
quote.
weren't.
I think you should read your quote because it'll just sound so cool coming from you. This quote, by the way, is included in the official tour announcement of the Rhapsody tour across North America.
Oh, Lord, you put me in the spot now. My poetry. Okay, this is what I wrote. In a moment of fury, visions fine and sound supreme, essence of a fiery queen, doyens of the paradigm, we will rock you one more time.
Now, doesn't that sound cool?
Gorgeous.
I don't know what he's on about.
Some prose
Oh,
for
you
us,
know,
yeah.
We're supposed to be artists, aren't we? You know?
Now, the last time you were here, gee, it was the before times.
Before
It was
lockdown.
2019.
So, yeah.
You did 25 shows,
Yeah.
and you'll be doing 23 more, at least, starting October 1st in Baltimore. Now, before we talk about the show, take us behind the scenes and the discussions you may have among yourselves about touring, like when is it the right time, who calls whom,
Ooh, it's a complex thing. I mean, some of it is the demand. It's like people want us, we respond to that. And we're very aware that America is still very encouraging to us, I could put it that way, So you want to go where people want you. And
yeah, but people want you all over the world.
Yeah, but America is kind of where we grew up. You know that. We go back, Jim.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do.
And it just felt right, yeah. And, I'll be honest, it gets harder because you get to our age, you don't necessarily, well, I'd say my age. Well, I'm going to discount Adam from this, but
you don't older too.
You don't necessarily want to be away for 2 months from your home, because you can't get back. There's no way. You're stuck in hotel rooms. So you have to really want to do it, and it has to be fun. Luckily, with these guys, it is fun. It's creative, and it's demanding in the right kind of way, challenging. And we have a laugh. We have fun. And the audiences give us incredible response, and we just love it. So we're doing it.
Well, Brian, you and Roger spend a lot of time together. I see photos of the two of you just hanging out, having a good time.
Occasionally, yeah.
Very often on social media. So,
do
you sit in a pub somewhere and say, maybe it's time?
Well, we used to sit in pubs an awful lot. But
actually more now, because I now moved. I moved out of London for the first time, and I moved very close to Rog, so I'm his neighbour now.
Yeah, so
we
we're
can
now
just nip
neighbours
over and have a drink.
in the country. Yeah, which is good. But I mean, obviously, we have to agree that we want to go out. We don't need to, but we've found this wonderful recipe, this magical chemistry with Adam, and I don't want to retire personally. What a horrible thought. I just like to do what I love doing, and that's this. And thank goodness these other two guys want to do it as well.
And Roger, just think of it. You've pretty much had the same job all your life.
Yeah. Scary.
Most people can't say that.
That's true. I mean, I did other things, but I've always been in a band ever since I was 12.
Right, but as an adult.
Well, I'm not really an adult yet.
Now, the tour is still called the Rhapsody Tour, but it's not the same production as 4 years ago, let alone last year when it was in the UK and Europe. Brian, as a matter of fact, you're quoted as saying, while the last tour was the most ambitious production ever, you decided to rip it apart and get even more ambitious. How can you do that? Can you elaborate on that, please?
Well, the funny thing is it happens almost naturally because we just love trying stuff out and seeing how far we can push it. So we're innovating the whole time. We are ripping things to pieces the whole time, saying, can we do this better? Can we do this a different way? Can we try a different song? Can we move things around? Can we get a different effect when this particular lyric happens? All this stuff contributes. So the tour has evolved a lot since we last saw you. And I actually questioned whether we should still call it the Rhapsody Tour, but it's a nice kind of title. And like you said, the Rhapsody returns, but significantly changed and
Well-
revved up.
Well, Rick Lipson, that's your set designer,
Yeah.
says the show will excite audiences with, now this is his quote, its holistic blend of lighting, video, scenery, and pyrotechnics to bring a visual spectacle to Queen's iconic music. So how does that part of the puzzle start to come together? I mean, do you leave it to Rick and his staff to develop and then they present a blueprint to you, or do you guys or your manager come up with ideas and go to him and say, see if you can make this work?
We
All
would
of the
never ask the
above.
manager for ideas.
No, forget managers. No, managers do other stuff. Creatively,
Yeah.
but creatively, it's very interactive. We ask them to do certain things, like, "Can you make this happen?" And they go, "Okay, well, maybe we can do this." And then they say, "Well, actually, we can't make that happen, but we could do this. How would that work for you?" So it's very interactive, and we just proceed. I mean, Rick is a wonderful designer. He's done all sorts.
he's brilliant.
I think the germs of the ideas come from us,
Yeah.
and then they make them happen. You know.
And we spitball a lot back and forth and come up. It happens so organically. We'll be tossing an idea ball back and forth between us, and it'll turn into something based on all three of our input that is very exciting.
Yeah, and the technology, of course, changes the whole time, and we love that. We like finding out that things that we couldn't do 10 years ago, 20 years ago, we can do now because of the technologies there. I mean, one of these things, I always wanted my guitar to do what it does in the kind of Magic video. Was that 20 years ago? I said, give me a guitar that can do that thing. Now we can do it, so we have it in the show. I love that. Toys are great. Yeah. The music's cool, but the toys are great.
And Adam, this show is part of a series called iHeartRadio Icons.
Mm-hmm.
You are, I believe, the youngest performer ever to be featured on this program.
Well, I'm flattered.
iHeartRadio
Thank you.
Icons.
Thank you very much. I'm flattered.
And it's justified because you stepped in at your very young age to an incredibly iconic role.
Absolutely. And when it all began, I didn't expect it to continue this long and this successfully. I thought, this is just a one-off. We'll have a great time. We'll do this gig together at the EMAs in Belfast for MTV, and that'll be that. And it's a lovely night. And we just clicked. It was such a nice connection, and we had a lot of fun on stage. And one thing after another sort of came up as opportunities, and I was thrilled to keep being able to say yes. And it's been a dream, honestly. I've gotten to do my solo stuff as well on the side, as well as this, and I couldn't really ask for a better path.
Yeah, we didn't actually even ourselves think it was going to last this well or work this well and last as long. And actually, strangely enough, the real breakthrough came with, I think, an appearance we did in Vegas for iHeart. And,
It's true,
2014.
That was the first little mini set.
That was the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
That's right.
So
yeah.
full circle right here.
And I think that really got people excited to put a proper tour together.
And it
with us.
felt to us like, this really does work.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Up to then, it was an experiment.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
The age-old question when it comes to touring is, what do you play and what do you leave out? Still being able to satisfy all of the people that bought tickets to see your show. Your catalog is so extensive. Now, I understand that, Adam, you've been digging through the Queen catalog.
I have. I've been known to go, what about this one?
and coming up with songs that people have either never heard performed live or last heard live performances years and years and years ago. So what was that like for you? I mean, just digging deep.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fun because we're able to sort of surprise each other. Like, if I suggest something, these gentlemen will be like, yeah, that's an interesting one. Oh, interesting. And yeah, and it, I think both Brian and Roger have pulled songs up too that I wasn't as familiar with.
Well, who
were
came
really
up with
exciting.
"Doing All Right"?
That's
That's from the first album. That hadn't been performed since 1977.
I think it was because of the film.
Yeah, that was triggered by the fact that
Yeah.
we put it in the film. Yeah, it's nice.
That's right. Yeah.
That was a nice moment.
That was actually before Queen, wasn't it? When
Yes.
Brian and I were in another band called Smile.
Yeah.
And then we found this guy called Freddie.
And there was the live
right.
debut of Machine.
Yeah, we did
yeah,
machines for a while. A lot of
that's
these
right.
things we put in for a while, and then we think, oh, no, let's try something else. Yeah, I enjoyed machines. Difficult to pull off, and we did pull it off.
Yeah, we
Good.
did.
Adam
Good
did
song.
it great. But then what tends to happen is you look at the audience and you see how much they react to everything. Maybe we shouldn't do that, I don't know, but you sort of judge it by how well it goes down. And that went down okay, but not super, not because it's not a huge hit.
Right.
So I think eventually we thought, no, we'll try something else. And I don't know what the other thing was. Probably Tear It Up we put back in. Instead of
Yeah.
that.
Well, it's nice because we have the centerpieces of the set are the big iconic hits that everyone knows all the words to. So you're making sure that you're involving the entire crowd.
Right. But you can do an entire set that has nothing in it but those giant hits.
Exactly.
Because there are so
Yeah,
many.
there's so many.
So, Adam, give us a little sample of pitching the two guys from Queen a song. What is it like?
Hey, what about Dragon Attack?
Ah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
We didn't do that for ages. Yeah, let's do that.
I think that was one of my babies that I rooted for, and it's so much fun to play. It's a great one.
It's great fun. We learned to dance to that song, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Did you like that video? You can check out more over here. And don't forget to subscribe to iHeart right here. And if you're already a longtime fan, make sure you ring the bell down below so you don't miss a single video. Bye guys.